Now on 4 News Now at 6, crisis or crime, we go along with Spokane Police as they work to keep our city safe and get people the help they need.
We have team coverage on the wildfire smoke making its way in from Canada. We'll let you know where it is headed and if it's going to impact your weekend plans.
Another business owner frustrated over crime in downtown Spokane. The drastic measure he's taking to keep his customers safe. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Thousands of police calls every year in Spokane and Spokane County are for people having a mental health crisis.
Historically, a large number of those people have ended up in jail. A special unit has been working on keeping those people out of jail, tackling their issues with compassion and alternatives. Is it working, or is it too soft on crime? Robin Nance has this special report.
So right now, I'm going to a disorderly call at North Division in East Indiana. Male running into the street, taking his shirt off, throwing things at passing cars. They believe he's tweaking. It could be drugs. It could be mental health.
This is exactly the kind of call Spokane Senior Police Officer Richie Plunkett is here for.
Every situation's so different.
He spends a lot of his time in places like this, looking for people in crisis and following up with those he's helped before. Most officers don't have time for this kind of follow-up, but Officer Plunkett is a member of the Behavioral Health Unit, or BHU. It's made up of Spokane and Spokane Valley police officers, county deputies, and mental health counselors from Frontier Behavioral Health. Sometimes those counselors ride along with the officer or deputy.
It's nice to be able to bounce stuff off them.
He and his team work closely with the local shelters, homeless advocates, substance abuse treatment facilities, and hospitals.
The biggest issue we're dealing with is co-occurring disorders. So most of the time, the co-occurring is a substance use disorder with some sort of mental health disorder.
Whereas our patrol officers and deputies in the field are often in Band-Aid mode.
Sergeant Jason Hartman oversees the BHU for the police department. He says being homeless or mentally ill is not a crime and shouldn't be treated like it.
Our goal is to basically long-term to provide people that are struggling with mental illness with services, treatment, put them in contact so they can get treatment. And also oftentimes get them up to the hospital if they're suicidal or can't care for themselves.
But there are times when those in crisis knowingly commit crimes and need to be held accountable, especially when domestic violence is involved, other violent crimes, or serious property damage.
There's no trespassing signs all over here, and then you get charged, and I don't want you to get charged. You look fairly young. I've never seen you down here.
Last year, the BHU made contact with 4,912 people. 79% of those contacts ended in something other than sending someone to the hospital or here to the county jail. And of those cases where someone was detained, the unit didn't use more force than just handcuffing.
Are you looking to get into some sort of services?
The unit is paid for through a Washington State grant. And SPD tells me it's a model for other crisis units across the country.
When we start interweaving services, whether it's public safety, nonprofits, hospitals, it works out a lot better. It's a more effective system because without having these connections, we're just going to continue to have a broken system.
Senior Officer Plunkett believes keeping a cool head, using logic, and collaborating are among the keys to mending a broken system. It served him well as a skilled crisis negotiator who teaches it at Police Academy and across the state, and as a man who has a master's degree in social work.
To be able to have law enforcement that's compassionate, empathetic, and willing to work with people. And the more we do this, the more we're able to help more people. Okay, well, if I see you again, I will keep offering, all right?
I'm Robin Nance, 4 News Now, Spokane.
Another important piece of fighting this crisis is making sure families have access to mental health services in their neighborhoods.
To help MultiCare and Northeast Community Center are teaming up to build a new facility in the Hilliard neighborhood. Our Bronte Soronsky joins us live from the construction site with an inside look at the new mental health services it will provide. Bronte.
Well, Aaron, Kirsten, soon kids in the Hilliard area will have even more mental health resources just across the street from school at a time when it's even more crucial than ever before.
You know, when you look at the surrounding area of the Northeast Community Campus, it's a community in need.
A community in need of better behavioral health resources, especially in-person services.
If you wanted to have in-person care, access locally is pretty limited.
But soon it won't be. Construction is ongoing, but by the fall, this brand new behavioral health center will open its doors to the community, right across the street from Shaw Middle School.
We're seeing more kids in need. We're seeing more adults and older adults. People that had existing mental health needs, those needs have worsened. And maybe people who didn't, they have new needs. And so
that's why MultiCare says there's never been a more urgent time for this center to open.
The need for behavioral health is bigger than it's ever been.
The hope is that it'll have a huge impact on a community that desperately needs it. The clinic will be inside the Northeast Community Center. Some staff at the center regularly talk to counselors at Northeast Spokane schools.
And those therapists at Spokane schools, and they indicate that it's a 6 to 9 month wait right now from need to first appointment for students in Northeast Spokane, and that is far too long to wait.
Once the center is open, kids and other community members can easily access mental health services without the wait.
It's just really a dream come true.
Now, there is no set date yet for this center to open, but MultiCare does say that it'll open by the fall in time for the school year. Reporting in Spokane, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Bronte, thank you. New at 6 o'clock. To help with the mental health crisis, the Biden administration plans on spending $200 million to strengthen the suicide and crisis lifeline. That money will also be used to provide new resources for mental health services in schools. The Department of Education will propose a new rule that would streamline Medicaid billing permissions for schools.
Well, here's a live look over downtown Spokane tonight. Wildfire smoke from Canada is filtering down into our area. Let's send it over to Chris Crocker to see when this smoke is expected to clear out. Chris.
Well, we've seen some improvement just this afternoon. We were in that sensitive groups range, the orange, for a brief period of time. Right now, air quality right around the Spokane area ranging from good to moderate. But as we get into the overnight and some of the mid and upper level smoke settles a bit, we could be back in that sensitive groups range. Right now around the region, we find the worst air quality just to our east in western Montana, where Kalispell is in the unhealthy range, that dark red. And we'll see this vary a little bit over the next 24 hours before we have the potential for some bigger improvement. In the meantime, there is an air quality alert through Saturday morning for all of eastern Washington, the area you see shaded in that dark black on your screen. Meanwhile, that is also the case for western Montana. We do have some thunderstorms in progress around the region in the central Panhandle Mountains, as well as the mountains up along the Canadian border and along the east slopes of the Cascades, Chelan County, where there is a flash flood warning in effect for a burn scar there because of the heavy rains coming along with those thunderstorms. Meanwhile, your Friday planner, it is going to be record heat, a high temperature of 87 degrees with hazy sunshine. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast, even hotter weather on the way for Saturday in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Chris, thank you. Spokane police are searching for this man. You see the picture on your screen, 43-year-old Eddie Williams. They say he walked away from a Geiger Correctional Center work crew at a job site near Browns Addition. If you see him, call Crime Check. The number's right on your screen, 509-456-2233.
Spokane police are also searching for 37-year-old Dominique Red Elk, who went missing earlier this month. She was last seen near First Avenue in Perry. If you see her, you're asked to call 911. Also new tonight, overdose deaths in the U.S. have hit a record high. Provisional data from the CDC show almost 110,000 people overdosed last year. Although the final number won't be available until after a records review, that total surpasses the high set the previous year by about 500. It also suggests the years-long trend of increasing is leveling off after a surge during the pandemic. A significant factor in U.S. overdoses is the powerful synthetic opioid fentanyl.
A new poll shows gun violence has surpassed the opioid crisis as the #1 public health concern among Americans who were surveyed. 26% of people surveyed said access to guns is the current greatest threat to U.S. public health. Back in February, that number was 17%. Meanwhile, concern about opioids and fentanyl dropped from 26% in February to 25% in May. Both of those threats are ahead of obesity and cancer as the top public health concern among Americans.
Take a look at the damage to this sheriff's deputy's car. It happened last night on Highway 41 near Rathdrum. According to the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, a deputy was sitting in the car with his emergency lights on when his car was hit. No one was hurt. As of now, police don't know if drugs or alcohol were involved. The Sheriff's Office reminds drivers to slow down when approaching a traffic stop or any other incident where a police car has its emergency lights on.
Google has been ordered to pay almost $40 million to Washington State over the company's tracking practices. The Attorney General's lawsuit alleges that the tech giant falsely led people to believe that they have control over how Google collects and uses location data. Along with the money, the lawsuit also requires Google to be more transparent about how it tracks user data. It requires the company to show more information whenever a person enables a location-related feature, make sure that users see information about location tracking, and give users detailed information on an enhanced location technology website. The Attorney General's office says it will use the funds to continue to enforce the Consumer Protection Act and protect the data of Washingtonians. Still ahead, we are continuing to track the Canadian wildfire smoke that's spreading across the U.S.
Meteorologist Matt Gray explains why these fires could impact our air quality across the country for a long time. Plus,
for 21 years, Sally's House has served as a safe haven for children going through abuse. Coming up here, how they celebrated turning 21 and the $70,000 goal they're hoping to achieve.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
We love to save you green.
This is Dan. Dan is digging a tunnel. Dan really wants to attend the MLB All-Star Week at T-Mobile Park, so Dan is digging. Too bad no one told Dan about the $5 Hit 5 ticket from Washington's lottery. Each purchase comes with a chance to win one of 14 MLB All-Star Week prize packages. But Dan doesn't know that, so Dan is digging. Good luck, Dan. You might want to hurry. Or go get a $5 Hit 5 ticket from Washington's lottery.
Spokane's hottest music.
Man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9.
Life, it doesn't stand still, and neither do you. And wherever you go, we're with you. We're Global Credit Union, formerly Alaska USA, for 75 years, enriching the lives of members and guiding them on their financial journeys, giving them the confidence to not just follow their dreams, but to chase them. The future? We're on it. Let's get there together. Global Credit Union. On we go.
The Chevy RS family of SUVs has it all. Whether you want the 10.2-inch diagonal color touchscreen on Blazer or extra peace of mind with Chevy Safety Assist standard on the 2023 Chevy family of SUVs. So take your pick. The choice is yours. Spring into adventure and get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Equinox models. Or get $1,500 cash allowance. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
There's working you. And then there's Chill U. Chill U is more carefree and curious, more present, more relaxed, more fun. Chill U is the best you. There you are. Bring back your Chill U with an escape to Coeur d'Alene, the city by the lake. Find countless ways to play and stay in CDA at visitcda.org.
A cornerstone piece of our community celebrated a major milestone. Sally's House, a safe haven for children facing abuse or neglect, celebrated 21 years of service today.
Members of the Salvation Army hosted a fundraising event to help expand its resources and reach more kids in need. Our Jordan Smith was at the event earlier today. He joins us with this.
For 21 years, Sally's House has served as an emergency placement option for kids while social workers and police work to find them a more stable housing option. And kids come through these doors all the time. So for the 21st anniversary, The people here at Sally's House want to expand and renovate. It's been a staple since it opened. Kids suffering unimaginable trauma and abuse, given a lifeline at Sally's Place.
They come to us really just broken little kids. However, great stuff happens here.
They're given access to a bed, toys, arts and crafts, and love. Oftentimes, children come through Sally's House more than once.
If the parents gain custody of the child again and the parents continue to do bad things, or they're placed in foster care and it's not a good fit, when the child's removed, they actually request to come back to Sally's House. And a lot of times it's because they'll tell their caseworker, it's where I'm loved.
As it stands today, it's home to 15 kids. The Salvation Army hosting a fundraiser hoping to renovate and expand their resources for the kids. emceed by 4 News Now's Mark Peterson.
It has saved lives, and we're going to talk more about that.
Organizers showed the first time Mark and the Extreme Team renovated Sally's Place back in 2014.
This is something I told you about. The kids who come here, they have structure. They have lunch, they have dinner, they have breakfast, they study, they do homework, and when they do things right, they get beads. And when they collect up enough beads, they get to come to the store. So the Kids Cave is now a place where they can come and do their shopping.
The Salvation Army also emphasized the need for a new project. They're hoping to raise $70,000 to renovate the kitchen. Attendees given the opportunity to bid on artwork created by the kids or leave a donation in the envelope at their table. Donations have been pouring in since these invitations were sent out back in March. Heading into the event, they had already raised $43,000. At Sally's Place tonight, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Here's a look at high temperatures across the region today. This does not look much like May. We're in the 80s throughout the entire region. Just a couple of spots in the 70s and 90 in Lewiston. It's going to get even warmer Friday and even warmer Saturday. I'll let you know what to expect after the break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Horizon Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Extreme Team.
Liberty Park Greenhouse and Garden Center, same location and family-owned since 1928. We're a full-service garden center and everything is locally grown. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for weekly deals. Liberty Park Greenhouse and Garden Center in Spokane's Perry District.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning partners with cities to gather the data they need to reduce homelessness. An interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world, that's the new thing. It isn't a tagline. It is Eastern Washington and you. Apply today at ewu.edu.
25 years ago, one extraordinary show danced its way into history. Riverdance. Now it's time for the next step. Experience the breathtaking phenomenon, Riverdance, the 25th anniversary show.
May 26th through 28th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Visit BroadwaySpokane.com.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
It's spring decking season, which means it's time to get the best selection and pricing before summer from the decking pros at Windsor Plywood.
It's time to shop, shop for wood.
Get it done now before the sun comes out.
Windsor Plywood.
Liberty Park Greenhouse and Garden Center, 3 generations in the same location since 1928. We have a great selection of geraniums and nonstop begonias, annuals, perennials, vegetable starts, and hanging baskets. We have it all. Liberty Park Greenhouse and Garden Center in Spokane's Perry District.
We have some breaking news to tell you about. An Amber Alert has been sent out for 2-year-old Rudy Reyes. Idaho State Police believe he was taken by his non-custodial father, Rodolfo Reyes, and they were last seen in Nampa, Idaho. Rodolfo is said to be driving a gray 2008 Lexus. If you see them, you're asked to call the Nampa Police Tip Line. That number is on your screen, 208-465-2203.
As we get closer to sunset, the haze on the horizon becomes more evident. Expect an orange sunset. 81 degrees right now in Coeur d'Alene. It's 84 presently in Spokane. A very warm evening. 59 for an overnight low tonight. Mostly clear skies, but it is going to be hazy. Expect that our air quality will be right in that moderate to perhaps unhealthy for sensitive groups range by tomorrow morning. Hazy sunshine. 87 degrees for a high tomorrow. That would be a new record. Here's a look at our forecast right now. We've got a southerly flow developing with a ridge of high pressure that will continue to build tomorrow and into Saturday. We'll start to see some changes on Sunday as a cold front passes through, but in the meantime, high pressure in control. We still have the possibility of some mountain showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, but we'll be dry in the valleys with clear skies other than that smoke from the Canadian wildfires. Overnight lows tonight is going to be a warm night. 59 in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Many locations staying in the 60s by tomorrow morning. Friday's high temperatures in the 80s and some 90s, 94 in Lewiston, also in the 90s in Ritzville, Moses Lake, Wenatchee, and Grand Coulee, 92 tomorrow in Omak. Here's a look at your planning forecast. 87 for a high on Friday. That would be a new record. 90 on Saturday. That is where our warming trend peaks. Also a record, and then that cold front comes through on Sunday with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. We cool back down into the 70s, but our average high for this time of year is in the upper 60s, and then start the warming trend over again. We are pushing 80 degrees by this time next week. Overnight lows through the forecast primarily in the 50s and 60s, 48 degrees Monday night and into Tuesday. Aaron?
Chris, thank you. The wildfire smoke in our skies is just a small fraction of what the wildfires in Canada are producing.
Meteorologist Matt Gray continues our team coverage tonight. He's tracking the smoke as it spreads across the United States.
Yeah, it is not just here, that is for sure. Tonight, the smoke beginning to invade the upper Midwest now. Look how far it's spread across the northern half of this country, being carried by, well, the same storm system that was pushing down all of that smoke towards us in the inland Northwest just a day ago. As the storm continues to track east, well, unhealthy air quality, it stretches all the way from northern Colorado up to northern Minnesota and the Canadian border there. As Thursday turns into Friday, well, smoke is going to invade much of the Midwest and continue to spread to the northeast as we get closer into the weekend. You can see here on these maps that eastward and also that southern progression of that smoke with that storm. These fires already accounting for millions and millions of acres. They're placed in a particularly important location when it comes to North American weather. As the summer heats up, the tracks of those big storm systems, they retreat to the north, and these large lows can impact the entire continent at once. And they often get started basically right where these fires are in northern Western Canada. And the wind field of these storms lines up pretty perfectly to collect all that smoke and carry it all the way to the south and across the United States. So both here at home and across the nation, winds out of the north are going to be bringing concerns about air quality for the foreseeable future. Summer is only about a month away, so it's only going to get hotter and drier, and that should keep those fires active for a while.
Stream 4 News now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Local, friendly, efficient service. Isn't that what we all want?
At Perfection Tire, our stores are locally owned and managed. Plus, we sell the leading tire brands like Cooper, Toyo, and Nokian at our very best prices.
Experience the difference at Perfection Tire.
The heartbreaking story that stunned the nation. Hours after saying I do and driving away in a golf cart, they were hit by an allegedly drunk driver. Now, after losing the love of his life, he shares his story for the first time on GMA.
Unleash your spring adventure by scoring a great rate on a Northwest Motorsport rig. Check out the best selection of lifted trucks, diesel trucks, and adventure-ready SUVs at nwmsrocks.com. Power up your spring journey with Northwest Motorsport.
Are you filming?
Yep.
That's a good one. You kind of have to be able to see my feet. I'll post it. Try rolling your wrist, dude.
And I'll put my weight on the back, especially on my outside foot.
Balance is key.
So is stick work.
Mom, I'll be out front.
You should switch to sledding.
They should switch to being helpful. No blocking. Good idea.
Keep your eyes up, man.
Try to keep the control on your weight going forward. Weight open.
Nice snap.
Tap, tap. Get that power.
Muscles paying off.
Come on, hustle back. Hustle back. Come here. You go out. Next step. Set it. Go. Come here. Come on. Come on.
Meet the future. A chef, a designer, and an engineer. All learning to save and spend their money with Chase. The chef's cooking up first with her new debit card.
Hungry?
Uh-huh. The designer's eyeing sequins, plaid. While mom is eyeing his spending. Nice. And the engineer? She's taking control with her own account for college. 3 futures, all with Chase. Freedom for kids, control for parents. One bank for both. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Shopping for quality tires but afraid you're paying too much?
You'll find you can trust Perfection Tire for the best deals on Cooper tires and other top quality brands.
Competitive pricing and the best warranties. Nobody beats Perfection.
Diamonds and Dreams is proudly sponsored by Camp Chevrolet in Spokane.
Around the nation, nearly a week after the end of Title 42, cities across the U.S. are preparing for a wave of migrants.
New York City officials say the city is at a breaking point as it scrambles to house hundreds of asylum seekers arriving daily. More than 4,200 migrants arrived in New York City last week alone, where officials say they are out of space with more than 150 emergency shelters and nearly half of all hotel rooms already full from housing migrants. A plan to potentially convert up to 20 standalone public school gyms into short-term emergency shelters is facing fierce criticism.
It breaks my heart that we don't have the facilities to house them, but this is not a viable option.
Safety first!
Officials say that using public school gyms is a last resort, but they can't have families sleeping on the streets.
Virginia may soon be the only southern state without heavily restricted abortion access. Republicans in North Carolina's legislature overrode a veto by the governor pushing through a bill to ban most abortions at 12 weeks. South Carolina's lawmakers advanced a House bill late last night that restricts most abortions after 6 weeks. While backed heavily by Republicans, not every GOP member is in favor.
Abortion laws have always been, each and every one of them, about control. It's always about control.
Since Roe versus Wade was overturned nearly a year ago, at least 15 states have stopped nearly all abortion services.
5 TikTok users are suing Montana over its new ban of the popular video sharing app. The group says it violates their right to free speech. They also say the state doesn't have authority over matters of national security. Supporters of the ban cite security concerns over its connection to China, alleging it could be used by the Chinese government for spying or to spread propaganda.
It is some irony that such a ban would require the creation of technology that is similar to, oppressive technology that China has pioneered.
The ban would go into effect early next year.
New at 6 o'clock, Kia and Hyundai back at the eruption of Mount St. Helens that killed dozens of people 43 years ago. Plus,
don't lose any more customers for what's going on out there on the street, and bring it in here.
One business owner is frustrated with crime in downtown Spokane. What he's doing to protect customers, coming up next.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. Yee, classic beef and cheddar hard. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
Congratulations to Rathdrum, Idaho, Stubmeyer Park, and its Holt Field that's going to be rebuilt with the Diamonds and Dreams. The field needs a lot of work, and we're here to help. Diamonds and Dreams with the 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
If you have a vehicle you no longer need, you can give it new purpose through Union Gospel Mission. Simply go to ugmmotors.org or call 509-327-HELP to schedule a pickup. Your donation gives people like Tyler food, shelter, job training, and the opportunity for a whole new life. Be a driver of change. Donate your vehicle to Union Gospel Mission.
This is how legends 2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups. Plus, get a $2,500 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
4 News Now anchor team, not just in the newsroom, but in the community. We're doing the work, listening to you, asking questions, and getting the answers you need to help keep your family safe. It's what we mean when we say, expect more on 4 News Now.
Arby's, 2 for $7. Every day, a classic, a favorite, an Arby's legend. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
New information on the Meghan and Harry paparazzi chase. Next, Inside Edition, what we've learned about the pursuit through the canyons of Manhattan.
You feel like Harry was probably thinking, oh man, here we go again.
Then, the urgent race to save the baby.
He's not breathing. He's not breathing. He's not breathing.
The little guy isn't breathing. How they saved the baby. Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
I just want our customers to feel safe. I don't want to lose any more customers for what's going on out there on the street.
Too many calls into Crime Check has one business adding a new fence. Clark's Cleaners on Division hopes it will reduce the number of calls to police. Owners tell us they're dealing with people using drugs and those with mental health problems.
Some customers say they don't feel safe dropping off their dry cleaning. Vanessa Perez live downtown with the story. Vanessa.
Clark's Cleaners says it was told by the police department its best option was to put up this fence to keep traffic down on its property. As the clothes are being cleaned inside, a new fence is going up around Clark's Cleaners to keep out the dirty activity.
I just want our customers to feel safe. I don't want to lose any more customers for what's going on out there on the street, you know, and bring it in here. I want them to feel safe coming in here.
Clark's employees report people defecating on the property, vandalizing, and even camping out at night.
The younger ladies got to come here and open, and when you got 15 people sleeping on your front doorstep, it's a little disheartening to come to it, you know, to deal with it. No one likes to be woke up in the morning.
Too many calls into Crime Check. An officer is busy on other calls, leaves this option to put up a fence.
The main problem is a drug problem. There's a lot of mental health problem too, and a lot of the customers feel a little unsafe, and we're trying to slow down on that. I think the fence is going to keep it, especially the walking traffic through the parking lot.
Just up the street, Brewitt opened its shop a few months ago, receiving more customers the longer it's open. Like most in the area, it's dealing with homeless.
You kind of know when you set up a business down here that it could possibly be an issue.
Already dealing with theft along with other stuff.
People coming in here that are like detoxing in a way or not getting their fix or wanting their fix, and they do come into the lobby and try and like use our bathrooms and do sketchy things in there which we don't allow, or just come and sit in the lobby.
Businesses keeping operations going with activity looming the area. Clark's Cleaners hoping this fence will create a sense of safety for customers and staff. Now, Gum also says that he's noticed more police officers in the area walking around and biking around over the last couple months, and he says this has made a difference in the area. Live in downtown Spokane, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Look over a smoky downtown Spokane. It does not look very pleasant, at least from this view. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. It is going to be hot and hazy tomorrow. We have an air quality alert through Saturday morning. Record high temperatures expected Friday and Saturday. It is going to be cooler next week. Here's a look at our current air quality. We are in the moderate range. We've spent a little bit of time in spots in the unhealthy for sensitive group range, and I expect that we will be back in that territory as we get into the overnight and tomorrow morning. We'll be keeping a very close eye, tracking that air quality. The further east you go, the more downhill our air quality gets, with western Montana in that unhealthy range and the orange shaded areas, the unhealthy for sensitive group range. This wildfire smoke coming from fires burning in parts of British Columbia and Alberta. Satellite and radar, we've had some isolated mountain thunderstorms this afternoon and this evening. These will taper off after the sun sets and we lose our daytime heating. We have an air quality alert through Saturday morning. Meanwhile, here is your Friday planner. A hazy start to the day. We're heading up to a high of 87 degrees. 68 is our average high. It gets even hotter for Saturday before we cool down heading into next week. I'll let you know what to expect in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. And the weather is going to play a role in some events this weekend. Because of the heat predicted Sunday, Whitworth University has changed the time of its commencement activities. The baccalaureate service will now be held at 8 a.m. The undergraduate ceremony will be at 10. According to the university, the change is to accommodate participants as the turf field can measure 20 degrees hotter than the air.
Only 21 people still live at Camp Hope. That's according to WSDOT. On your screen right now are photos showing how much the camp has changed over the last few months. At its peak, more than 600 people lived at the encampment. The department says while this is encouraging, more work lies ahead to ensure residents get the support they need.
Well, it's one of the largest and most destructive volcanic eruptions in U.S. history. 43 years ago, Mount St. Helens erupted, killing 57 people. What you're looking at on your screen is a time lapse of the eruption, showing the north summit sliding down the mountain that was caused by an earthquake that depressurized the volcano. The State Department of Natural Resources released this photo of a hiker watching the eruption from Mount Adams. You can see in the lower photo just how much ash quickly filled the air. That ash quickly began to spread, covering cities across the state, including Spokane, with a total of 4 to 5 inches falling on Yakima.
The Idaho State Board of Education gave the green light to the University of Idaho to buy the University of Phoenix today. And this is part of an effort to expand online learning access to students who are not able to attend classes on campus. Peter Choi joins us in studio to explain how this will make learning more accessible to students in Idaho. Peter.
Yeah, I spoke to both universities today who tell me they're welcomed approval because it could help create more opportunities for students who wish to reach their academic goals.
Superintendent Critchfield, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. With $550 million, the University of Idaho is approved to affiliate with University of Phoenix and transition Arizona-based university from for-profit to not-for-profit entity.
The more we talked, the more it became clear that this was going to have great synergy and be a benefit to both universities.
University of Idaho Communication Director Jody Walker says the goal is to make the growth in online platform that the University of Phoenix already have in place for many students who are mostly working adults.
What it does is it really expands that. It gives that outreach to our rural and place-based citizens who may not be able to get to our university or who may not be able to find exactly what it is that they're looking for at our degree-oriented university. And this is another option for the citizens of the state of Idaho and beyond.
Excited for the opportunities that make sense of these two bodies working together more closely. Yeah.
John Woods is Chief Academic Officer at the University of Phoenix. He says the affiliation will benefit faculties.
We require ours to be working currently in the field, and they do not. They require theirs to do research. We do not. Really, if you put those two together, you'd have something nobody else does.
For students, he says there will be more options to earn degree.
Graduates from the University of Idaho and maybe they move to California but they know that we have a competency-based MBA program, and they wanted to pursue an MBA because we're affiliated with the state of Idaho and the University of Idaho. Maybe they pursue their MBA part-time with us online.
The University of Idaho says both schools will remain separate with separate programs.
But we'll look toward the future to finding those places where we can collaborate and where those synergies make sense.
The universities tell me this is the first step in the long process of making a change for students. U of I says they will look for more public input on the way. In studio tonight, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
The NBA draft is nearly a month away. Our sports team shows us where some former Gonzaga and Washington State players could land.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Give your day a little Kelly.
It's this. This is her name.
Every weekday.
Hello, Clarkson.
Watch Kelly weekdays at 4 and 4 News Now at 5.
Get a free Makita Impact Driver Kit or a Pit Boss grill now when you build a deck with wood decking or TimberTech or Trex composite decking and railing from Par. Visit par.com for details.
What are you going to build?
Spring is here and it's time to get outside and play. Save on all the fun stuff this spring at the General Store, including a wide variety of gardening supplies and products, camping gear and supplies, hot clothing styles and brands, disc golf essentials, baskets, bags, and discs. You'll find everything you need and more at the General Store. Shop one of these locations or shop online at generalstorespokane.com. The General Store. We have the fun stuff.
McVeigh Brothers is the only 5-star certified select shingle master contractor in the Inland Northwest. We also have great financing options like no money down and up to 12 years low interest financing. At McVeigh Brothers, we're always working for you.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick road.
Heart-pounding design, intelligent technology, courageous performance. Discover a new world of possibilities in the Lexus RX. Never lose your edge.
I feel like I'm at the law offices of Heap, Pile, and Hoarder.
Yeah, we just started a huge case.
Is it a class action suit against filing cabinets?
And we've made some cutbacks. I didn't want to tell you because, well, I was afraid STCU would stop lending to us.
Can I be frank with you? The more transparent you are with us, the better we can restructure loans in your favor. It's like the more real you are with your therapist, the quicker they can help you get over your chicophobia.
Hey, a lot of people are afraid of chewing gum.
STCU Business. Partner up.
Build your deck with Par and get everyday low prices on Trex and TimberTech composite decking. But shop now and you'll get $100 off TimberTech, Trex, and AZEK railing and accessories with qualifying purchase. Visit par.com for details.
What are you going to build?
Our high temperature today, 85 degrees. Now, 68 is our average high. Keep this number in mind as we go forward here. Not quite record territory, that 85. 90 is our record for today. 46 is our average morning low. We don't have many 40s in our overnight lows lately. 61 is where we started the day today. We do have the possibility of a record tomorrow. Our forecast high is 87 degrees. The record for tomorrow is 85, set back in 2006. We also have the chance for a record on Saturday. Our forecast high is 90 degrees. The record on Saturday is 86 back in 1928. Then we'll take a break from the records, but not from the unseasonably warm weather. Here's our temperature trend over the next 7 days. It does take a dive starting on Sunday. We have a cold front coming through on Sunday that may bring some showers and thunderstorms and then cool us back down into the lower 70s. But this white line right here is our average high. It's in the upper 60s until next Thursday. It goes up to 70 degrees, but we'll be on the upswing again after that brief dip, up to 78 on Thursday, and that may be a little on the low side. As we go out 8 to 14 days, we are still in that orange color, indicating warmer than average temperatures right on through Memorial Day and the first day of June, with below average precipitation as well. Here's a look at your planning forecast. On Friday, hazy sunshine. We still have that wildfire smoke hanging around, 87 degrees for a high temperature. Record heat on Saturday, 90 degrees. Then those showers and thunderstorms come in Sunday with a cold front. That's going to continue through Sunday night. Monday, 72 with sunshine. We'll keep the dry conditions going through the middle of the week. 78 on Thursday. Overnight lows through the extended forecast, mostly in the 50s and 60s, may get down into the upper 40s Monday night and into Tuesday. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. And the Spokane Lilac Festival's back this weekend, celebrating its 85th year.
The festival will take over Riverfront Park. The event starts Saturday morning around 9 a.m. There's going to be a classic car show along Spokane Falls Boulevard. There's a market starting at 11 and a brew fest that will open at 1. Different vendors are going to be set up. There's going to be 30 different beer vendors will be set up along with live music. All of this leading up to the main event, the Armed Forces Torchlight Parade to honor military and veterans.
We'll have a KC-135 flyover at 7:30, and then the parade kicks off right at 7:45 with all of our great national flags and state flags and armed forces.
You'll notice several buildings in the downtown area lit up in purple for the event. There will be several road closures through that downtown area on Saturday. We have everything you need to know about the event and those closures. Find this story. It's at KXLY.com.
New at 6:30, RSV is a virus that's the #1 reason kids are hospitalized in the U.S. And as any parent knows, RSV is almost unavoidable. Most kids have mild cases, but it can be especially dangerous to newborns.
Well, that's why FDA advisors today approved a new single-dose vaccine given to expecting mothers during the 3rd trimester. CNN's Meg Terrell explains how it works and introduces us to one mother who almost lost 2 of her kids to the disease.
When I went to pick him up, he was cold.
There'd been no major signs that 6-week-old Caleb Strickland was dangerously sick before his mom, Christina, put him down for a nap one day last September. Just sniffles and less of an appetite.
And so I picked him up. He was lethargic. He would open his eyes, he would close his eyes, open his eyes, close his eyes.
After a call to his pediatrician, they rushed him to the hospital.
Before I even knew what happened, he was being admitted and pumped with oxygen and trying to be stabilized.
Eventually, Christina says Caleb tested positive for RSV, or respiratory syncytial virus.
That was the first time we had ever heard of RSV.
The CDC says almost all kids will get infected with RSV by the time they're 2 years old. For most, it's like a mild cold. But for others, particularly young infants and those born prematurely, or kids with weakened immune systems or other health conditions, it can be severe. The CDC says RSV puts as many as 80,000 kids younger than 5 in the hospital each year in the U.S.
We can see RSV really affect anything in any system in the body. But what seems to get children into trouble and in the hospital with RSV is when it affects their breathing or their respiratory status.
There's no vaccine against RSV for babies and kids, and the first for older adults, produced by company GSK, was just approved earlier this month. One of Pfizer's RSV vaccines that's being considered for approval would be a single shot given during pregnancy, late in the 2nd or 3rd trimester, and could help protect babies like Caleb through the first 6 months of life.
That is called passive immunity. Mother passed it to baby, and baby now has some protection.
Christina Strickland says it's something she wishes had been available to her to protect both Caleb and his twin brother, Andrew.
If there was any vaccination I could have taken, I would have definitely taken it to protect them.
How are Andrew and Caleb doing now?
They're wonderful. They're fat and juicy and moving around, very healthy.
The CDC is urging high-risk adults who've gotten just 1 shot of the Mpox vaccine to get another one. That's based on 3 new studies of the disease formerly known as monkeypox. Research shows a 2nd dose could boost efficacy by double digits. Usually the Mpox vaccine is administered in 2 rounds, but single doses helped stretch the supply during last year's outbreak. Now Mpox cases are down, but concern is growing. They could rise again this summer. CDC experts worry that only about 1 in 4 of the highest risk Americans is fully vaccinated in the event that happens.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Life.
it doesn't stand still, and neither do you. And wherever you go, we're with you. We're Global Credit Union, formerly Alaska USA. For 75 years, enriching the lives of members and guiding them on their financial journeys, giving them the confidence to not just follow their dreams, but to chase them. The future? We're on it. Let's get there together. Global Credit Union. On we go.
Did somebody turn off the lights?
Don't forget your seatbelt.
This car won't start until you buckle up.
Seatbelt, Grandma.
1, 2, take up.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
However you say it, it's perfect. Together, we get there.
You filming?
Yep.
Try rolling your wrist, dude.
You gotta focus on balance.
You should switch to sledding. I'm gonna block him. Good idea.
Don't forget stick work. Hustle's paying off.
Bill's Heating and Air, your locally owned, factory direct, and voted #1 HVAC contractor, wants to become your go-to heating and air conditioning company. We offer free estimates and next-day installs. And now, we will beat any and all written estimates from any other licensed contractor. Yeah, you heard right. We will beat any other written estimate. Oh, and did I mention we have a 10-year parts and labor guarantee? Call now for your free estimate.
It's the biggest used vehicle sale to hit the Spokane area in years this week at the Spokane Valley Mall. As multiple dealers and over 400 top quality used trucks, sports cars, and low mileage SUVs are marked down and priced to sell fast. With top dollar offered for all trade-ins and over $2 million brought in to loan out. Plus, you can even roll some dice for a chance to win $5,000. It's the biggest used vehicle sale in town this week at the Spokane Valley Mall.
Chewelah Casino is now Mr. Casino Hotel.
Well, the next generation of pro Zags and pro Cougs are here. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. The NBA Combine has wrapped up. A number of Gonzaga and Washington State players made their final impressions on NBA coaches and scouts ahead of next month's draft. Drew Timme, well, he was right in the middle of it. Timme had 17 points and 7 rebounds in his final Combine scrimmage. He also added a steal and a block, helping his team to a victory. By far, Timme's best day at the Combine this week. Drew Timme is one of the most decorated players in Gonzaga history, but he is not a guaranteed NBA draft pick. Alex Crescenti joins us in studio to tell us where Timme could land for his pro career. Alex.
Yeah, that's right, Julian. Drew Timme may be one of the most accomplished college basketball players that we've seen in recent years, but he's certainly going to have an uphill battle to make it to that next level. His measurements alone are going to be something that hinders his chances of even getting drafted. At the Combine this week, he came in at 6'8" 3/4. That ranks 6th among centers, and his wingspan ranks 7th within that same position group. And those within certain basketball circles say to make it to, he can make it to the NBA, but there's a lot of work with his game.
He's got a ways to go on the defensive end. He's not the type of player that can guard multiple positions in the NBA. His athleticism is not a leading factor, and in that league, they covet guys that are versatile and super athletic that can guard multiple spots. But because he knows how to play, and I think he's a winning player, I think he'll play in the NBA.
Now, most mock drafts have Timme going somewhere in the late second round or undrafted, but I think we can say with some confidence he'll at least be on a summer league roster. Now, Timme's teammate Julian Strawther was also in Chicago this week for the Combine, but opted not to play in the scrimmages, but that may be for the best, as most mock drafts have him going somewhere in the early to mid-second round. Strawther is coming off his best year as a Zag, as he was named first-team All-WCC. And Washington State could hear one of their players selected for the first time in a draft since 2020, as forward Muhammad Gay is also testing the NBA waters for the second straight year. And just like Strawther, he's projected somewhere in the mid to late second round, as his 6'11" frame is something scouts are going to be high on. But while those players are pretty set on moving on from the college level. One homegrown Spokane player is still weighing his options. Julian.
Well, Alex, the future for Gonzaga forward Anton Watson is still uncertain. Watson has been busy this offseason. He participated in the NBA G League camp last weekend and stayed in Chicago to work out with Drew Timme, his buddy. Watson has a number of options. He is not expected to be drafted next month, but he could still try his luck at the pros with a summer league roster invite. Watson also has the option to return to Gonzaga for one more season. He has until May 31st to withdraw his name from the draft and return to school. And the NBA draft is set for June 22nd, and we'll break down where all those players will go until then. Well, that'll wrap us up for sports. We'll be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
Selection. Wendell Ford has it. Supply chains have bounced back, and our inventory is stronger than ever. Edge, Escape, Explorer, Expedition, F-150. Even certified used vehicles with Ford's Blue Advantage. Great selection, great service, and great financing options. Don't delay. Visit Wendell Ford at the Y on North Division. And drive for generations.
Updating your kitchen? Fred's has the latest in kitchen appliances from GE Cafe on sale with savings up to 30%.
With a variety of custom cafe colors and options, makes it easy to personalize your kitchen.
The GE Cafe dishwasher offers loading flexibility and a reversing wash arm to clean every inch of your dishes.
Plus, get up to $2,500 in factory and Fred's exclusive rebates on GE Cafe appliances.
See the great selection of cafe kitchen packages during Fred's Memorial Day sale.
Make your outdoor grilling experience one to remember at your locally owned Ace Hardware, where you'll find top brands like Traeger and Weber. Our friendly neighborhood experts will help you find everything you need, including the right fuel to light your fire. We've got a large selection of accessories like covers and utensils, rubs and sauces, and everything you need to enjoy your outdoor space. So come see us at Ace. With service so good, it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Congratulations to Rathdrum, Idaho, Stubmeyer Park, and its Holt Field that's going to be rebuilt with the Diamonds and Dreams. The field needs a lot of work, and we're here to help. Diamonds and Dreams with the 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
Of course I know the theme song.
Entertainment Tonight. That's what people want.
It's hard to think of Entertainment Tonight without.
Oh, I know it.
I mean, come on. Since I was a little kid.
This is Entertainment Tonight. This is the Bible of show business.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Coming up on Nightside, you work out to get healthy, but more new evidence suggests that the athletic clothes you wear contain high levels of toxic chemicals.
Plus some crazy video of curious bears surprising a Colorado homeowner. Those stories and more are coming up at 11.
Hot and hazy on Friday, a high of 87 degrees. Looks like we may have our first 90-degree day of the season on Saturday with sunshine and hopefully no more wildfire smoke. Get rid of it.
Yeah, let's hope for that. But record day, something to look forward to.
Is
right?
it?
Right? Right?